Welcome to Family Lifescaping, where we explore how we influence our environment through joy and wellness.
Hello, we're the Kings, and I'm Michael.
And I'm Catherine, and today we're going to be talking about counting the cost.
Coming from our home that is torn apart.
Yes, it is.
So, counting the cost.
Basically, today's going to be a quick update on what's going on with our household projects.
And where we're at in it.
So it started all with the original of the whole floor debacle that happened.
And having to change out the floor. It's grown just a little bit since then.
A bit more than a little.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about counting the cost. Yeah. And any project that you start, you really need to take a look at all the specifics and imagine anything that could go wrong will probably go wrong. That's why they say in any project that you're doing, household, construction, flooring, anything like that, give yourself a little cushion. Do like 10 to 15% over what you estimate, just so that you have whatever it takes to finish the project.
And they did that with the flooring. When we were deciding the flooring, they do an estimated, basically for all of us that are non-professionals.
And oops, there goes a tile.
Yeah, here, add 10% to your flooring. And no doubt we're going to make a mess, so we're going to need that 10%.
We will. If you like my sound effects there, I just had to put that in.
But we're still waiting for the flooring, which, but apart from that, we are on schedule. Or we were on schedule to have everything ready and prepped. So we're taking off the flooring. We still have one room to do, and then but taking off all the trim. And when you take off the trim,
and if the wall is wet, then you have to be very, very careful. Even being careful, my nail pry bar went right through the wall in some cases.
He had fun with some destruction. Demolition project for you, right?
Yeah, it's not destruction, it's demolition.
So because of that, we're having to fix a lot of walls.
Not a lot, just in a certain area. Everything else is doing well.
But ever since we moved into this home, I've always hated the color of our kitchen. We have lower ceilings in this the style of this house. And so when you put dark colored cabinets in your kitchen, and they have this really plain gray back, which we're going to keep for a little while until we get a nice pretty back. Yeah, we'll get a backsplash. But right now we're spending so much in all these projects, we're like, little things can wait.
Yeah.
So, but we're like, now we don't have a floor. We don't have to worry about that. Now's the time to do all the painting projects. And we have repainted the kitchen cabinets, sanded them, primed them, sanded again. And then we realized that Michael is better with a roller than I am. So I'm better with a paintbrush. He's better with a roller.
If you would have been here for that discussion, because I was like, okay, fine, you do it. And then she saw my technique for rolling all the paint on.
Yeah.
Which I kind of made up as I was going. But there you go.
So this is how we split the job. So he was then doing the rolling, which meant he had to, because we've gone for a much lighter color, we had to do it a couple of times. A couple of coats, which is not surprising. And then I'm left with the little paintbrush doing all the little, making sure when you're doing the ceiling to wall that you've got a straight line, which is what I prefer.
Brings up one of the things we found out is that we didn't really notice it, but above our cabinets in the kitchen, this is the little thing counting the cost. It's quite evident that whoever actually renovated this house before we came in or we bought it did not do the ceiling in the correct order. So it was this tan brown color back up in the corners, like they had sprayed the walls without taping it or got over and said, oh, whatever, and just put up cabinets, moved on. So we have painted the ceiling, which was not on the list to do.
Yeah, but it needed to be done. And just putting a coat of white ceiling paint on has made a huge difference. But it means I've had to go through and cut the paint across the tops of the walls again. So,
she's much better at that than I am.
Yeah, but no, it's fine. We're just, if we don't get it done now, like once the floors come in, we're not going to want to do anything else. And if you will see the mess that is in our school area, which is like next to our kitchen, the girls have been helping to paint. Well, they were helping to do a little bit of priming. the floor is covered.
And
So-
primer. The floor has been primed.
Yes, it has, quite literally. And so we're going to go in and we're going to paint a lighter color in there too. And so this is for us, is I'm not a neat painter. I am a crazy, is expressive painting, right? So when I paint, there is a lot of expression going on, a lot of love into our walls.
A lot of paint
And
everywhere.
so I splash, and I think I've got all the paint out of my hair. But
Yeah.
but
pretty
yeah,
much.
it's we're a bit of a mess. And then you add the 3 girls to doing that, and
It is interesting.
is a disaster area. So when people ask why are we trying to get everything done at the same time, it's because when those floors come in, we're not doing
We're
anything.
done. We're done with that. Yeah. So
But so then we also have, it's not just about money when you're counting the cost to do projects and all those hidden fees. It's as we said,
Time.
the time. Like, we were on time with our schedule to get everything done. We're a little bit behind, but we've added in a huge amount, so it's not surprising. But we'll get it.
We'll catch up.
Yeah, easy to catch up. But then there's also the homeschooling. Now, most of you know that we homeschool our children. That has, we are not working like we would traditionally.
it has taken a hit.
Yes, it has. But the girls are learning other skills right now, and I've discussed it with them, and it's like they know what we're doing, and they know we're kind of having our spring break in winter time. And then we will finish a couple of weeks later. Our end goal date has now been pushed back. And that's fine. That's the beauty of homeschooling, is that when something happens, you can still do it as a family and just rearrange a few things and just be flexible with it.
The
So
flexibility is very important right now.
Yeah.
With
because trying to
everything going
find everything, I've organized a lot of stuff that I know that we need as we're going along, but some of it's just been having to push out the way because our whole house is now in just a couple of rooms.
Yes, that's very interesting. But the other thing, the third point to counting the cost is your health.
Yes.
And this is an important subject because this goes right along with time. If you are crunched for time, which we have a deadline to have this done, if we start making the decision to push harder and further later than we should, well, if you're on a ladder and you keep pushing hard, and you get tired, you make a misstep, and you fall off, now you have a health issue.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful. You have to take that in consideration. Pace yourself regardless of where you're at, because if you have that element of the health issue hit, then your schedule's blown, and it's going to take a lot longer.
Well, it's not just your schedule, it's your whole life has changed. Your lifescape will take a definite turn in a direction you do not want to go. And I struggle with that because I'm like, let's just get it done. Let's just go. And so when I was up on the cabinets, on the counters in the kitchen, all hunched up trying to get the top, because I'm a little bit too tall standing on the counters, you want to just rush and get through everything, but you've got to be careful. It's a good thing I have a fear for heights, because even that, I'm like, okay, one step at a time, because you could easily cause some damage.
I pushed through the ceiling to get it done, and my shoulders are hurting, which I had a pre-existing shoulder injury to boot. So that wasn't really smart.
We've got to get it done.
Got to get it done.
Yeah, but we're learning a lot of stuff, but we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
So
Definitely.
So until next time, remember, you're the best gatekeeper to your own personal lifestyle, or lifescape.
Lifescape, yes. And if you're involved in a home project, be safe.